And we are live Wednesday night with those guys. And Wednesday night with those guys is sponsored by
those
guys.
What's up, dude? How are you?
Same old thing. You know,
Just
hanging in there, trying to survive with this foot, or should I say with this ankle. I don't want to say
Hadley, what's good, dude? What's good, dude? You know what's funny? Your foot may prevent you from catching corona.
Well,
you're in the house.
Funny, but I've been here even before that. What's up, on shots? Hadley.
Hey, JSK.
Yeah, I've been here, you know, even with the coronavirus going around. And like I said to you before, I swear to God, I don't really think that anyone really knows anything much about this thing other than the fact that it probably works just like your and I said this before, just like a cold. You know, it's going around, people are close together, and it's very contagious. Because, you know, like I said to you before, my sister, my whole family, everyone works in, almost all of them work in the medical field somewhere. And my sister is at the hospital, and she works in the maternity ward area of the hospital. She's had patients come in there with it. She's had doctors that have contracted it in her department.
Right.
One of the women that works in the office with her tested positive for it. One of the other women there, she passed away from it. And my sister was tested, and she has the antibodies. Now, I was tested the day before I had surgery. No virus detected.
Right.
Now it's
just a drawer. It's just a drawer of the cards. Tim Jackson, how are you, sir? Can't type anything because he's driving on his way to work. Him and I had a talk.
Hit the button and speak your message.
Yes. So, thank you very much, Tim. Tim is a big supporter. I wanted to show my appreciation by having him on Sunday's live stream, but he lets me know that Sunday our time is Monday morning his time, and he has to work certain days. So I told him, even if you can come on for 5 minutes and say hi and bye or whatever, one day we need to have you on Sunday nights with those guys or Wednesday nights with those guys to show our appreciation to you.
So what is it, Thursday morning now? Him going to work?
Yeah, it's Thursday morning there, and he's on his way. Hey, Blind Nail, how are you? Welcome to Wednesday nights with those guys.
So yeah, as I was saying to you, Lawrence, I don't have it, and I've been in here ever since I had the surgery. I've gone to the hospital twice, you know, for them to check. Once was for them to put the boot on, and the other time was for them to take the stitches out and put the boot back on.
Right. Well, I went to, I was at the doctor the other day, right? So the doctor goes, we need to give you blood because I take the Synthroid stuff for my glands or whatever. But she's like, okay, go take your blood. So the lady, I call her the vampire. She's a very nice lady. I was like, I have to come see you today, Miss Vampire. And she's like, okay, what are you coming for? I said, well, for my thyroid medicine that I take, they have to check the level. She says, well, you're going to be tested for COVID too, right? And before I could say anything, she's like, yeah, you're getting tested because I'm going to take blood for it anyway. So I'm like, you might as well, you're already in there.
See, that's the long test. The quick test is the
no, this is, you're right. This is a test for the antibodies. Yeah. To try and scratch your brain from the inside.
When they go all the way up in and be like, okay, count to 10.
Hey, Al Diaz, what's good, man? How are you? Yes, we're doing well, Blind Neil. We are. I hope everyone out there is doing well also. I see we have 12 watching, a few in the chat. Click that like button. We appreciate it very, very much. Al Diaz,
Yeah.
I'm doing fine, bro. How are you? There's Roger, Canadian Drone Hub. Mia's Drone Adventure. Thank you for stopping by and checking out videos and supporting us. And thanks for everything.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Hey, Roger.
There's the Godfather. Yeah, Tim Jackson is listening. He cannot type much because he's driving, and we do not want him texting and driving.
No.
So we appreciate that, Tim Jackson, and I hope you got your seatbelt on too. I mean, it's just, you know, if you were nice enough to say I'm listening to the live stream. JSK, how are you? He was here early, and
Okay,
and,
Roger.
and we weren't even here yet.
Who?
The JSK.
I saw him.
Oh, okay.
I said something to him. I said, hey, what's up?
Oh, okay. Because I got it, pulled the chat up late.
Yeah, I saw him. He was here, and I believe, matter of fact, I'll tell you exactly who was here. It was him and Drone Shots. That's right.
Yep.
Him and Drone Shots.
100% right. Well, in the world of drones.
Well, it's funny. You know, everybody has seen it. You know, I'm quite sure everyone has seen it already. The Skydio X2.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everybody has seen that, and they've heard this whole thing here, built for business, ready for duty.
Yeah.
That's a great slogan. Great slogan. I was checking out this drone, and honestly, I think it's a pretty good drone from what I see. You know, I you know, and I've talked to you about this before. I've said to you that I was looking to see where everyone was going with the whole working drone thing, but
Hey, Daryl Hickman.
Let's dive into this thing here. Was this 360-degree situational awareness?
Yeah.
That in itself, to me, you know, that's expected in a drone today. You know, that's
in Skydio, yes.
Right. But, well, that's expected because remember I told you the Skydio, yeah, because it is Skydio, but
hey, Sean,
I told you Skydio was going to revolutionize the way drones are made. And this is where they're going again with, like I said, this 360-degree situational awareness. Now this 360 super zoom, which is quite interesting, and I'm curious to know where they're going with that. But now they also has a thermal camera, a flare 320 time 256. It's not great, but it's decent.
You should be able to see something in, depending on your altitude, at least the size of a medium-sized dog.
Well, it has 4 times the resolution of the one from the Mavic Enterprise, that Mavic 2 Enterprise. So that's what they're claiming.
Right.
You know, that's what they're claiming on it. Now, you know, like I said before, we all talked about this battery time on a drone. Like, how much time do you actually need to be up in the air? You know what I mean? Before you need to change.
It's like a plane. The longer you're up in the air, the more chance you have of having a mishap.
Well, true. I also look towards, like, when it comes to drones for working purposes and stuff like that, to say that the drone should have some battery time. I agree with that. You know, if you're going for more battery time than those drones. But as a consumer drone, you know, that average of that 27-minute window to 30, 40-minute, that's great. That's perfect. That's more time than necessary. Yeah. Sometimes you even get bored being up there and you come down and while you're up there, you actually see other things that you'd like to explore. So you would change that battery out.
Right.
And go and explore those other areas.
Hadley says 360 cameras with dual 8K sensors will get you amazing, clean, close video.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. It's true. But this, Sean, what do you think about it?
Hello, sir.
I mean,
it's a decent looking enterprise drone. It seems to have some pretty impressive stats. I think it's cool that they've made one from the ground up for this purpose rather than repurposing something.
And it's completely modular.
So it's gonna be very adaptive. It's gonna be interesting. It's interesting as well as far as where Skydio is going. If you look behind the scenes, they've just had 100 million of further investment come in Series C capital. They've employed a full-time lobbyist at Washington DC to lobby on their behalf for government contracts. So they are definitely looking to get into that side of things in a big way. So it's no surprise that this was coming, but it's good to see it happening.
Well, you know what, Sean, I just wanted to finish on this here talking about the range is a little over 3 miles, but that's interesting in what you mentioned, because when I looked at this and I looked at what they did with the Anafi, and I'm looking at what America is doing right now. And I remember we had this conversation, Lawrence, that when we go into all the drone news, most of the drone news is about drone delivery startups, the expansion. Matter of fact, Matternet just expanded their delivery system to another hospital.
Yeah.
So, you know, when we all do the drone news, we're talking about, you know, what these commercial drones are doing, you know, delivery startups. We're talking about search and rescue. Very little about the consumer-based drones. And I'm just curious to know where the consumer-based drones are. But there's another thing that comes up, and it came up heavy this year, you know, and it wasn't just this year. It's been constantly around. And it's funny because all of the guys who are major players in what we've been talking on the last couple of weeks fell into this category for a long time.
Hey, Mia.
You know, to talk about Chinese-based drones and not trusting these Chinese-based drones. And DJI took the black eye for it. And, you know, DJI refused to succumb to that build American. And now these two companies turned around and opened up their doors to that idea and are doing big things. You know, you got a Matrice, what was it, the 300 that just recently came out. Now is probably a better drone for this market and for this work than the both of these that came out in different areas, maybe not on all aspects of it, but in a lot of areas, it's a better drone. And it probably will never be used by some of the major players that are needing these such equipment because of that whole Chinese-based drone thing. You know, and I'm just wondering if DJI didn't make a mistake or they have something different or plans or something else up their sleeve.
Herman.
Who knows?
Herman.
Yeah.
You know, like I know, and like Sean knows, DJI is sitting on a vault where the guys are going, please, let me just leak a picture. Please. So just shut these people up. Just please let me show a leg. Just the leg of the drone.
And I agree with you, but that would be for consumer drone.
Which drone? I'm sure they could do it on every platform. I'm pretty sure DJI could do it on every platform. Seriously. If you wanted to go micro,
DJI has decided that they're only going to deal in consumer drones.
Well, right now, DJI is the only company in the world that can put out a drone on every platform out there. From toy grade to consumer to prosumer to enterprise.
And I believe they probably have the best of all of those markets.
Yeah.
But like I said to you, with this climate here in America of this non-Chinese based drone thing, and I don't think that would affect the consumer. And right. I'm talking about the amount of government birds that were grounded for this reason.
Yeah.
And DJI has better equipment that they'll never get to use because of that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I got you. Like I just found, I was just reading an article today that said DJI employs 114 or 140,000 suppliers. I need my phone to verify that. I mean, not suppliers, employees. It's 114 or 140,000 employees. That's a lot of employees. And we're just talking over in Asia. We're not talking about abroad. That's a pretty nice sized company. And you must pay them pretty well because you don't see leaks from DJI unless they want you to see it.
Well, I think that's just about controlling the departments to have the information more than those 114,000 people won't have access to the next product. Of course, it will be the inner
That's
circle.
true. Yeah, right. You work for them. You can't own it.
Yeah.
What's up,
no,
Paul?
I think we have to thank DJI for these two new recent drones. It's because obviously they refused to do the US build and they couldn't satisfy.
Yeah, but the Skydio Enterprise. What is it? The X2 or the 2X or
The X2.
X2.
the X2? Now they have an X2D version that is supposed to be a step down from the X2. Now they plan on hitting the military market as well as the enterprise version of the market.
Well, they already have a military contract. They sold their autonomy software workings to the Department of Defense.
It's a wrap now. It's a wrap now.
Basically, a continuation of that, because there was actually a British newspaper that was trying to get a freedom of information disclosed as to whether Skydios were used in the recent Black Lives Matter surveillance.
Oh, get out of here.
They couldn't get either Skydio or the DoD to confirm or deny.
Okay, what's going on, Paul?
I just spent about 2 hours on the phone with my electric company trying to sort out my bill.
Okay.
$1,000.
Do you think the fact that you're drawing electricity from the rest of your city and people are going into blackout situation has anything to do with it?
Could be.
Got 9 monitors, 6 computers.
Dude, with the power that you're drawing, you supposed to have solar power in the grass, in your driveway, and on your roof.
Skunk cam, all kind of cams.
Might as well give back to the community, Paul. There's some kid who can't play Xbox because you cut on another television monitor.
When you said the bill is a little low.
Yeah. What are they saying, Paul? Your bill is too low and they need to raise it on you? What?
Well, they're just being nice. They're being nice to me, but then they have their hand out for $1,000, you know?
Oh, I thought they were offering to put a generator in your yard. A power plant in your yard.
They said you can go out and check your meter if you'd like, and no, sorry. I don't speak meter, you know?
Yeah, well. Now check this out. Do they come by like on my block? They put everything satellite from the water line to the gas line to the electricity. So now the guy doesn't have to come into our yard. He just walks past your house and points at the side of your house, and he gets a reading. Do you get a reading like that, or do they still prorate? Because they were doing a prorate, claiming they couldn't get into your yard.
Yeah, I think every other month they prorate, but they do read, not physically, electronically.
Okay. All right, babe. Leave it. I'll close it. Okay, because now that they've been walking by the house, well, what they claim is people have been going in, the workers have been going into people's yards and walking alongside of the house, and they've been attacked by dogs, attacked by women, attacked by men, attacked by kids, you know. So even with the bright orange shirt on, it says power company. So yes, I did do it. So what I was just wondering, but now that they couldn't go into people's yards if they didn't get a reading, they just prorated, and it was a cheap way for them to give you an average price whether you burnt that much power or not.
Well, what they say is that if you get a high bill one
Take
month,
care, Tim Jackson.
they will adjust it again. They'll adjust it on your next month billing.
Of course. Michael Blade, how are you? Hey, Classic. Of course, they never do it right then and there, but they want their money this month.
Exactly.
Give me a second.
Well, one of the things I like with this drone now, guys, was the fact they have this new controller that's supposed to come with it. I thought that was pretty nice about it. It looks pretty good. I like the way it is, the design of it. It's similar to the other drone as far as the gimbal and everything is concerned, but it looks a little bit more sturdy with the carbon fiber arms and stuff like that.
Right.
But yeah, business wise, what we were talking there, Sean, I didn't know that that they had had someone lobbying for them for the.
Yeah, they've already had a government contract since last year.
Yeah, that I knew.
It's more the autonomy side of things that I think I think a lot of people are interested in that particular company for. But this is this looks like a really neat piece of kit. It has to be said. It looks like some very cool engineering. And again, it's something aimed squarely at that enterprise marketplace. So we'll have to see how it plays out for the hobbyist and everybody else.
Sean, what was nice about the DJI Enterprise was if you had flown any DJI, like a Mavic 2 or whatever, you could step into that. This looks like you've got to have some real serious training just to use the controller.
I think looking at the UI actually looks very simple, and it looks fairly similar to what we're all used to. As Bill from Coast to Coast was saying in the chat, they're actually adding quite a bit of the enterprise capabilities to the S2, the Skydio 2. So that's going to be able to do roof inspections and mapping, etc. So I think there's going to be quite a bit of crossover. And I think the learning curve will be relatively simple. Again, it is going to be modular, so there's going to be more and more complex versions of it out there. But I think it'll be a very good, I would say, modern version. I would almost call it, the Enterprise 2. It seems to step up from where the.
And the other thing I noticed, nobody even indicates how many thousands of dollars that the Enterprise 2 is going to be.
Yes.
You mean on the Skydio?
Yeah, the Skydio. Yep.
Yeah.
No, it's too. You know why? Because if you got to ask, you can't afford it.
Well, they're targeting deep pockets and big contractors and the government. The government pays $2,200 for a toilet seat. They don't think twice about it.
Well, there is a remit out there. There is a document that companies which pass the first couple of stages of clearance from the Department of Defense can get their hands on, and that tells them what the government, what the United States Department of Defense and government agencies want from a commercial drone within the next 5 years. And basically people like Parrot and Skydio have gone away and built to those specifications, which is why Parrot have moved their production for this across to Neotech in the States, which is just so happens to be a Department of Defense trusted manufacturing company. I
think it's a good idea for the company.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. I don't like the way that they did their marketing and anti-China and that sort of thing. I think the Skydio one is cool because it says, here's a really cool enterprise drone. That's it. It stands by itself, basically. The specs are amazing.
Right,
I mean, price-wise, you have to respect that they did get the Skydio 2 pricing pretty spot on. So I think they'll probably do the same with this. And you'll find that this is similar to the Xbox and PlayStation battle that they'll have their guide price at the moment, but they probably won't set the price until.
Sean, the drone that I'm amazed at, we don't hear about anymore, was the little one looked like a hummingbird with a Singer prop on it, and it's like for military use. And
the Dragonfly. That's in use with about 12 different countries' armed forces around the world. But because of some of the technology within that is essentially like, you know, like the military grade Humvees, you could only buy one if you were a government armed forces.
Yeah.
That's the level that particular kind of tech is
All
at.
right, Paul.
There's a video
You got
for
the
you.
pull. You could buy a couple of dragonflies.
Yeah.
I know you know Lynn. Lynn could speak to some people, and they could speak to some
Zipping
people.
around those boats.
She could
Right.
talk to her people, who could talk to my people.
And I'm sure one of them could get mailed to you on the low.
You could actually send one of the dragonflies inside the boats to do the internal view of the like FPV. So you've got you going around the outside, then it breaks to FPV inside.
Well,
the boat.
and the neat thing about the black dragonfly was, weren't they developed, Sean, correct me if I'm wrong, for the idea of military swarm tactics, where they send out hundreds of them?
Yeah, those ones in particular weren't, because they were just before that tech became very popular. But yes, you're right that there are some very similar drones being developed for it at the moment. Ironically, for the swarm stuff, they're going a little bit larger, because very worryingly, about 6 out of 10 of the swarm drone technologies being developed right now are actually for crowd control. So that should concern us for the future, certainly.
So, but yeah, like I was saying to you, Sean, that whole marketing scheme that they came with the Anafi, I thought was a little disrespectful.
It was just silly, really. I mean, I cut the whole thing out of my video when I was presenting my presentation, and I just you know, I found it silly. Yes, there's a huge marketplace out there that would love to buy a US made drone for enterprise purposes, love all the security side of it. Also, the fact that they're not going to have, you know, let's say you are a private contractor that has contracts across federal agencies, suddenly you can't use your whole fleet, so you're not going to have that issue in the future. So that's great. But just going on about it too much, and there was about 10 minutes of the presentation saying that DJI said they didn't leak anything, but this proves they did. And it's like, can we talk about your drone? Just tell us where your servers are, how secure it is. The fact that, you know, they didn't even mention Neotech. If I were them, I would have talked about the fact that it's being built by a very reputable company. So actually, the build quality is probably going to be very, very good. I know it's ruggerized and everything like that, but yeah, it's incredible.
You know, I enjoy having split screen, because I get to watch you in real time up here, but I'm looking up. But when I look down, you look like a karate movie. You know, with the lip syncing.
That's why I put it. I put mine on my screen over there, so that I can check on the stream occasionally, but I'm not looking at it.
Yeah, so I have to learn to pay attention more to the chat. Just came in and hit that like button and say hi. We appreciate that very much, Off Axis.
Hey, Off Axis.
I'm heading out to fly. Fly safe. First, be safe.
Yes, fly safe. You
right.
know,
take care, man. Thank you much.
Why I wanted to talk about this so much was that, you know, there's a lot of these drones out here claiming that they're able to do mapping and all of these things like that. And we've had this conversation go this 101 different routes a million times. And from my knowledge of a camera, I'm curious to know how, with these smaller sensors and these, these digital shutters, how accurate are they as in comparison to a global mechanical shutter? I'm just curious to know how accurate they are.
Okay, I mean, in terms of mapping and that type of thing,
yes.
It's all about the cell phone technology, which is leaping across at the moment. From the Huawei's and the iPhones and everything else that use the multiple camera setups, and each of those cameras essentially verify what the other one is seeing digitally, and therefore those overlays become more and more accurate the more overlays you have. And the Skydio, of course, has multiple cameras. It's going to have a 360 view as well, live view. But the working cameras at the front are multi-cameraed, similar to the Anafi, so that they're taking multiple points of reference and bringing them together.
See, we don't have to worry yet, but when they start trying to put AI into these drones, we better worry.
Well, that is somewhat of an artificial intelligence if it can feel its way around something.
Right. It's like a blind man that can see, pretty much, if you want to think about it, because right now, if you don't have 360 degree, you're partially blind. You're not legally blind, you're partially blind. It'll fit into different categories. And that 360 degree field of view, you can't sneak up behind something that can see 360 degrees.
That's right. And when you've got a swarm of drones using AI to disperse a crowd of, let's say, 1,000 people, that swarm of drones works out where to drop the little tear gas grenades itself.
Hold on, my wife said something about a GoPro camera, $100 off.
Sound the alarm.
Squirrel.
Fantastic.
Well, yeah.
Just on a side note, Paul, thanks for letting me use that clip. You're our shout out member on today's video.
Oh, thank you.
Gave your channel a little shout out. So thanks again for being a channel member.
I saw that. Mr. Murray stepping up in the world.
No, only because Sean is kind to.
Hey,
Sean is the kind of guy to lift people up, even though they're in the gutter.
Your video, and he did it so professionally. I thought I was watching a freaking newscast. Because he did the news, he went into the video, did the little drone news and stuff. And oh yeah, by the way, check this dude out over, and it was very professionally done.
Wasn't that nice of him to have pity on me?
Well, it's one of the perks of being one of our channel members. So see, shout out, and they say try and make the perks something that don't cost you too much time, but also give the viewer and the member a lot of value. And to me, a lot of the people that were joining were had fantastic channels themselves, like Paul's, and how it's not exactly difficult to put a wonderful 10-second shot of a ship being perfectly filmed on your. It added value to my video. So no, it's great. I love the community that's around drones.
Well, Sean, I don't want you to take it personally when you don't get very many comments or you don't get very many views because of me, and I'm sorry.
So, Lawrence, we got to step up our game.
Yeah, I know, man.
5 years from now, Sean will be filming from Hollywood.
I know. He'll be walking around with his own cameraman, right? Following him, talking about get out the way, Sean's coming.
And they'll be naming that whole area down there by the bridge after Paul.
It's kind of that thing at the moment with me where I've kind of decided
Murray's way.
If you want to be something, you've got to make yourself it. Does that make sense?
No, that's true. That is
you've got to feel those shoes
true.
Before it comes, almost.
The effort that you put in shows.
Thank you.
And you have to show effort with this. Like you guys have seen and heard me crashing in the trees and holes and breaking drones, and you've heard me cursing and I've gone through a whole lot of stuff with FPV, but I stuck with it.
And then you get shot like the beach shot.
Yeah, that Hadley, I got to give Hadley's famous FPV that, because I was talking with him on Messenger as I was walking there, and I was like, dude, you got to see this view. And he was like, yo, you got to get a shot flying into the sun with the sun reflecting. And it's a big hit. I got a lot of great comments on that. So it looks like now I need to try that also with a sunset.
Yep.
So
I think one thing you could do as well, Lawrence, as we're talking about, sorry to interrupt the news segment, Herman, but I think one thing that could work quite well, because you're also very good at the camera drone, is mixing the two.
Well, see, that was my purpose in learning FPV, but in order to mix it with camera drone stability, I had to stabilize the FPV drones.
Absolutely.
Now that I get that smoothness and things are working the way they're supposed to, like Herman, I showed him this clip right here. Hold on a second. I'll show them. You mind, real Herman, and we'll get back on subject.
Yeah, can you
right here. This area. Herman was explaining to me how I could get this same flowy motion with the Phantom 4, and it never dawned on me. But see, now that I have it smooth like this, I can actually add Phantom 4 Pro or Mavic Pro footage, camera drone
Yeah.
footage to it.
Absolutely.
Yep.
You know, now there's a part right here. I'm trying not on this pass. I think the next pass after I go past myself and come back in the same direction. On the right-hand side there is a little park area, and I've been trying to learn to follow that path. And Herman was saying, you know, you could do that with your Phantom 4, and it would look like you were flying FPV. You just have to be in ADI mode and turn your camera from fixed mode to 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 loose mode, whatever the mode is called.
I think it's an FPV off
In
follow.
FPV mode or okay,
Yeah.
well anyway, your camera is fixed on a camera drone. Now on this next turn coming back towards this, I literally try to follow the path. And I will have this path because that's how many times I've been going there. But it's a matter of time. But now that I've got the smoothness in, it helps. This is it right here. To follow this little path is so hard for me right now that because I could probably hit something, hit a bush, go and hit that blue water. Water was coming out of that blue thing, by the way. You know, but
See, you're not gonna bank the same way, but you'll glide into it.
Yep.
See, and that's the thing about the Phantoms and the Inspires that a lot of guys fly these drones, but you know, we can fly them in GPS, but we really can't fly. When you put them in the ADI mode, a lot of guys run into trouble.
They become stones.
in fact, if you, Sean and Paul, if you known how many times Herman and I were at meetups and guys have had flyaways. Herman had it happen to him. I've had it happen to me where a guy just gave me his remote and said, yo, she's flying away. And the drone was going like this. He's like, yo, my drone's going away. And he gave me the remote. And because I can fly in ADI mode, I was able to get the drone back.
Now, you know,
once you get the direction that it's going in, you turn the drone in that direction, and then you start flying in ADI mode. And I teach people how to fly in ADI mode first.
You see, I think things like for instance, the bridge behind Paul or a building. So you've got some nice normal camera drone footage, sort of panning and orbiting of it, and you know, nice camera drone music, and then it switches. You get a trapped drop.
Right.
It turns into some
and then you can convert
music.
to FPV.
And then suddenly you're diving the building in FPV, and then another 30 seconds later you're back completing the orbit.
Trust me, the gears are already spinning. I have some projects that I'm working on that I want to take out. I'm going to try it with my Mavic Pro first. If that works with my Mavic Pro, then the Phantom has to come out also, because I can shoot. I got it. Trust me. You'll see some exciting stuff.
I'm looking forward to it
soon.
Hey, Roger, how you doing?
And the best part about it is you won't know whether it's FP. You'll know it's FPV by the speed, but by mixing in the camera drone, you'll say, "Well, hey, wait a minute. Did he speed ramp that, or was that a thing?" You know.
Exactly.
You get it. You get it.
Now, you know what's funny about
Back to the drone news. I'm sorry, Herman. We got diverted.
A lot of guys get away from. They think that when you're doing drone videos, footage, you should never speed up drone footage. And I have a tendency to disagree with that. I just feel it depends on what you're trying to tell, what you're trying to say with that footage, how you feel about that music,
how you tell a story. It's all. That's why we do this. If you think about it, I mean, before I got into FPV, I was strictly camera drone, and flying camera drones was the thing. But now to show a building, rising a reveal on a building, and going up like this, looking at the building, and then to look down at the building like this and switch into a dive. That's possible now.
Exactly.
You know, it's so possible now. Especially like that Vail Hotel, William Vail, that 4-star hotel lit up at night. That baby would look really nice being dived at night. The whole hotel is an LED.
Yeah.
If you rise up and you could look from one end of the hallway in the hotel through the hotel. That's how
Because
well
then you're also looking at commercial opportunities there as well, because it's like, you know, you look at people like Nurk, and a lot of his commercial opportunities is because he's got so much control with an FPV drone that he can make these things look cinematic.
Yeah, see, Desmond says he does the same thing. He plays with the speed. It's all about the story you're trying to tell. And if you have the right music for it, it tells the story even better.
There is a lot of concern. A lot of people get very het up on this resolution, this frame rate, this kage, this XYZ.
Use what the hell you got.
80% of people are watching on a mobile phone. And as long as you can, as you say, as long as you can blow them away with the story,
or
that's
lower,
all that counts. That's all that counts.
Or a tablet, if not a phone.
YouTube half the time will give it to them in 480 or 720, and you've actually got to say, "Oh, that looks a bit grainy," and you click the button and you upgrade it.
Yeah.
So you know it isn't the way the platform is necessarily headed for a little while until we get true 4K phones being the norm.
Well, depending on what you're watching it on, you know, I don't know. I've always put out the video the way I want it to be shown on YouTube, but I never put a video on YouTube and push it right away. I always hold it until the resolution
catches up.
And then I release.
Exactly, Sean. Most folk are watching on a phone with dodgy reception. Yeah.
And I get that about the phone.
That's it.
But even still, with the better the reception coming out, the better reception you can get on that phone. And a lot of these phones today, you know, with these with the Samsungs and the iPhones, and even now that what's that Google?
Yeah, the Pixel. The Pixel. Yeah, that's
and the LG. These things got some great pictures right now.
Yeah, I've been a loyal LG man for at least 5 years now.
Sorry.
Huh?
I'm sorry.
I have. I refuse to go iPhone, and Samsung. The operating system on Samsung is just a little too girly for me, but it sells.
I am across at the dark side with the Chinese.
What's the Chinese? What is that? A Huawei?
Yeah, Huawei. Yeah.
See, I
see. Here we go. I think they're all Chinese.
Huawei makes it. Yeah, they are.
They make a good phone.
No, Huawei makes really good phones.
But I think they're all Chinese.
Yeah, at least their innards are.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Paul, you look tired, man. Why don't you get why don't you get an old man nap? If you do, then you could be up at 3.
Don't encourage him on that.
You and Herman are going to be there?
See,
dude, I got to work tomorrow. I'll be asleep.
It is. You know, I'm quite sure when Frankenstein created that monster, was not thinking about the trouble that he could have.
Well, I could wake Paul up a little bit if you want me to.
Oh yeah.
It's not a video. Don't worry, it's not a video. We've now confirmed the members video meetup will be happening after the streams. So next Thursday night, straight after the stream, the members can join us in Zoom to have a chat with myself and Libby.
Paul's there. But Paul's already typing it in the calendar.
It's literally the after dark off air R-rated version of the show.
Oh, so everyone's going to sit around with a couple of drinks and talk shit.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be fantastic because I tell you, if you think that young lady is you think she's entertaining when she's on YouTube following the rules, see her when she's off.
You know what? She's starting to loosen up though, and I like that.
Yeah, it's really working, isn't it?
I've seen her evolution.
Yeah,
because at first she was like drone, now she's like drone. It's clicking, you know.
Exactly, and
it's becoming more natural as well.
Yeah, I mean, we literally plucked her off of TikTok doing the dances and the comedy and everything else like that, and she was not used to interacting with a live audience.
And it's funny because TikTok, you're always in front of a camera. Instagram, you're always in front of a camera.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
a live camera makes the difference.
Oh yes, and that chat going boop, 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 boop,
Mhm.
with something, you do something and they react. You do something, they react. That can be quite intimidating. But yeah, no, she is starting to loosen up, which is fantastic.
That's great. That's great though, because she was actually calmer than you were when you were having problems with your live stream.
I know, yeah. But I've got all the tech end. This end, it's down to me to make it work. And we're so used to things going a little bit wrong now. When I had Kelly Shaw's on, when we came back on, and just before we went live, he said, "Sean, I can't believe how calm you are." When everything just crashed, and I have to give it to you. So I said, unfortunately, you get a little bit used to it.
Yes, I am, Paul.
We've now solved some tech issues. So
Yeah, well, Lawrence is going to be there.
No, I don't know. I'm not a member though.
We just can't tell Diane.
Listen, Paul. I'm not trying to get back home.
Going to end with an emergency room call.
Let's get back to the drone news, Herman.
The only other thing that I had on drone news was the 14th annual electrical was this aircraft symposium. That's not the same symposium as the UAS or the FAA UAS with the VSI or whatever the hell those people are.
Yeah.
That is such a mouthful to get out one time. But this symposium is organized by the Comparative Aircraft Flight Efficiency Free Foundation. Yeah, and it was sponsored by the Vertical Flights Society. Now, they're supposed
Never heard of either one of them.
Me either, but I've never heard. But I've never heard of this symposium either. It's just something that came across my nose, and I heard it. I saw electrical aircraft, and we fly electrical aircraft pretty much. The drone is an electrical aircraft, but this is covering like like stuff like when we're talking about planes, and everybody's talking about Uber and the next one, and Goober getting into all of this.
Yeah.
Flight. This is what that industry is.
Hey, Phantom Hodges.
And they're supposed to have their symposium. They're supposed to have over 3 dozen of the what do you call it? Electrical developers in this technology at this thing. So it's virtual this year. It's on July 20.
I'm starting not to like this word virtual.
Well, everything is going virtual now with the coronavirus. They don't want everybody like.
Well, and I saw an advertisement for the virtual stripper bar too. So everything's going virtual.
Now, when you do that, right? Do you do it the same way you do the super chats? To the strip club, and do they take 20% out of it?
$2 at a pop.
Oh, okay. So if you want to make it rain, you got to keep hitting the button.
Yes.
I got you.
Yep. You might get them halfway swinging on the pole, but then it stops, and you got to put another $2 in the machine.
Paul sounds like from the day of the peep shows on 42nd Street.
Paul's been down in Amsterdam.
You young whippersnappers just don't know.
Yeah, so they're supposed to have 12 panel discussions, industry panels of discussion on this thing here. So I don't know. It sounded like it was something interesting. I just brought it up, but it was an article that passed.
Big Matt says they'll take Cash App.
Yeah, but you know how much you're gonna be cash apping the whole night?
Cash App would become rich with every transaction.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't do that.
What's up, Recovery One Drones? How are you, sir?
The strip club can't go virtual. For that to be successful, Corona's got to disappear. Either that, or you're just gonna have to have.
But see, now they're gonna have a plastic shield up in front of the stage.
If you give everybody gloves.
Imagine being the cleaner.
gloves
No.
and masks, and you got like the big bowls of hand sanitizer. You can just dip and slap them. I mean, the girls might end up with dry skin, but from all of the hand sanitizer.
Right?
That one. That
I
would.
don't know, Paul. You'll have to do some research on that. Yeah, you have to find
Your project, Paul.
a virtual strip club, Paul, and fill us in on it.
Well, we're going to make you
Hey,
the
what's
master
up,
of
Rod?
ceremony.
3X drones.
We're going to make you the master of ceremony, Lawrence.
Nah, that's okay.
With that nice deep voice. And now we have stimulus extraordinaire. Yeah, there you go.
Big Matt says, or the card swiper cheeks.
Oh, no.
No.
You know what? I did. Never mind.
The views and opinions that are heard tonight are not necessarily the views and opinions of everyone on the panel tonight. Never mind, Herman.
No,
I did.
We was going to have to end the show and switch it over to 18 plus.
Coming back.
Yeah.
There was a spot over in Queens. It's probably, I think it's still there. Near the BQE launch.
Oh no, I thought you were talking about the one near the bridge called the merry-go-round. You know, when you got off the bridge going towards Northern Boulevard?
No. I'm talking about
The whole stage was in the middle. The girls would come up in the middle and the bar rotated, which was really interesting because it rotated slow. So when you went to the bathroom and came back, if you didn't go by the color of your seat, your seat may have been over here. So when you start over here, you go in the bathroom and you come out, your seat's over here. It was very interesting. There were lots of fights. There were lots of fights with people sitting in other people's chairs, not realizing that the bar rotated.
That's not good.
I thought you were talking about the seats in the bathroom were moving.
Oh, hell no.
It's like you reach over to get toilet paper and you lean forward, you might sit down in somebody else's seat.
Oh no.
That's worse.
That's a different club.
In the bar, yeah. That's a different club, different bathroom.
Yeah, definitely.
That's why they shut down the bathroom in the entrance to the municipal building from the train station.
Those of you just joining those guys, we've now moved on from the Skydio discussion onto virtual strippers.
Okay, let's rewind. Rewind, bring it back real slow.
Are we coming back to the
how do we get 180 back round to drones from that though?
You got to wait till the toilet comes back around.
Okay. See, this will distract you guys.
No, but
It'll keep you distracted. We're back on drones now. Okay?
I'm waiting for that new Skydio to come out. I'm just waiting to see more on it. I want to see more information.
I want to know the damn price
on the camera.
10 to 15.
You think?
10 to 15.
Depending on model, depending on
10 to 15,000.
Yeah, depending on
what the other guy, the Anafi came in at what, 5?
7.
Yeah.
But with the standard Anafi controller and app.
Right. But this is going to have.
I think is really stupid.
This is going to have some new controller with it, and
yeah, because I think you might find Skydio will stick true to their existing strategy that you'll get the drone and a controller or a beacon or some other thing, and you upgrade to the different types of controllers and everything else.
My only issue is their controllers are basically designed for cell phones, which means you're gonna have to come up with some type of adapter, like Billy Kyle did with the actual Anafi. You had to get an adapter for that controller to hold a tablet for us old guys who can't read a restaurant menu but could spot a golf ball 150 yards away.
Exactly, yeah. But it's good to see a screen built into this thing again as well. I think it looks like it's going to be a proprietary controller. So they're definitely taking this. Not that they didn't take the Skydio 2 seriously, but they're definitely taking this one very seriously.
No,
you know what? I think the Skydio 2, the DJI, they pulled the DJI on us. They put the Skydio 2 for the research, and they had the real drone ready to rip.
Nothing that Skydio is doing is anything to do with drones. Okay,
It doesn't make sense.
Skydio Automation, or whatever their brand is. Let me just look it up. The brand
Hey,
name.
what's up, Broke Necks?
Skydio Autonomy is what that company is all about. Skydio Autonomy, you will read that being bought out by Boeing or someone like that at some point.
Yeah.
That in my personal humble opinion is where that company's headed for a very, very big buyout one day.
What I'm interested in with this here is that even with the Skydio 2, with them coming out with this controller now for it, when they had the controller and the beacon, even still with that controller, it still wasn't that good of a flying machine with the controller. So all of the people who spoke on it and did reviews on it, even still with that thing, it had its autonomous ability, but the ability to control the flight. We all fly DJI, we know how that responds, we know how that feels. With this new Skydio, this X2, with this new controller, is it going to be something that you can, I'm curious to know, I would like to see when it comes out, is it something that you can actually fly with that controller? Or is it going to be more of a controller that still allows that pilot or that operator to be a dope and be able to
yeah, no, you are going to be able to actually fly it, and all of these, I mean, you know, to be fair, it's actually going to be the first commercial drone with true situational awareness, because it's going to have a 360 wide a situational camera setup. So you're going to be able to look around you as you're flying and everything else like that. So it's possibly one of the first ones that will get a license for beyond visual line of sight.
Now, see, therein lies the problem when they finally put AI into a drone and you pull it out of the box, you put a battery in and you turn it on and you point on the map. This is what I want you to do. Inspect this, inspect that, check for cracks here. And then it goes and does it itself. That's when you have to worry.
Well, in actual fact, a video on my channel last week was regarding the Air Accident Investigation Board in the UK, where they looked at a DJI Matrice which crashed, and it turned out the two experienced PFCOs, our Part 107 styles, actually neither of them had any experience in flying ATI mode, and didn't regularly practice any kind of manual flight.
Put the brakes on.
This drone went up to 100 feet and went off by itself and ended up hitting a house. The entire time that it was flying, the manual controls would have worked.
And they didn't try to take over manually.
No, and it wasn't in the training. It wasn't in the emergency handbook, which they have already revised.
They just went, oh my God.
See,
well, they went return to home, return to home, return to home, and then 10 seconds later, it had gone over the trees and away. So they no longer have visual.
Because that's how they were taught to fly.
Exactly. Well, it has now been amended. So the CAA sent out an amendment saying you must practice emergency situations and you must practice ATI manual modes.
And it's for that reason I teach. Go ahead.
That's the thing, though, Lawrence. You cannot say I'm gonna fly in ATI mode when your drone, especially something like a Mavic or something like that, that's not flown in ATI mode. It has no ATI mode switch.
Yeah.
So when that drone goes into ATI mode, is it an emergency or is it into true ATI mode? Because most flyaways are GPS errors.
Yes. Yes, they are.
You understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes, they are.
And
bad
if
calibration.
you have a controller, and this is what I've been saying for the longest time, since they've been doing this Mavic series, why haven't they put an ATI mode switch on those drones?
Yeah.
If you click that ATI mode switch, flap, flap, you flash that switch and keep it in ATI mode, it will take that drone out of GPS and give you total control of that drone. Flyaway is over.
Yep.
I may have one answer for you, that the Mavic series, of course, is much more of an amateur drone, and they probably thought it's going to cost us X million more in DJI.
I agree, Matt.
To keep repairing these things if we give them an ATI mode. Because if you give someone that, they'll use it.
I say this over and over, and people get mad at me, but everyone that I teach how to fly, I teach them how to fly in ATI mode. And then when I show them GPS, they're like, well, yo, why you didn't show me that? I said, because when the GPS goes out, you need to know what to do. and
And
not the
Sean, I don't know. I'm not an engineer, but why wouldn't it just be a software update that if the drone loses location and anything else, it automatically says going just like landing in 10 seconds, ADI mode in 10 seconds. You know what? And with
Yeah,
a button that says cancel ADI mode. You know.
Yeah, no, indeed. It
Yeah,
is. It's one of those complex things where they have to watch themselves on insurance wise. They have to, they model things for, if we put this in there and that in there, how many more things will go wrong? How much more will it cost us on DJI refresh because people don't know how to fly in that mode, or they put it in that mode on purpose.
I want to bring up an issue, and this a lot of people don't notice. So, and this is a great question: does return to home still work in ADI mode? Well, believe it or not, it depends on the situation and it depends on the drone.
And on the error as well, yeah.
Okay, because I cannot personally speak for certain types of drones, but the drones that I have owned, a Phantom 4 Pro, a Mavic 2, a 3DR Solo, it depends on the drone. So Phantom 4, you mean on a Phantom 4, you're wondering, does return to home mode? I do know the drone still knows where home is in ADI mode. I don't know if return to home, I sort of dropped Mark Paul. I don't know if the return to home works in ADI mode. I've never had to do it because each time that I did have a drone get put into ADI mode or have some kind of interference, I've always known how to fly it back myself.
And one of the biggest things that I've seen of the new people that are flying drones, they don't go through and set it up. In other words, like, it's going to return to home at whatever level it's at, which could be lower than trees, lower than buildings.
Matt says the Mavic series does have ADI mode, but it's only in a developer setting. Many people don't know how to put their drone in developer setting mode, which I don't suggest either.
No,
because Matt, someone technically inclined could do it. John Koopy says ADI mode kicks in automatically when there's GPS loss. On the Mavic series, there is a trick to force ADI mode constantly on the Mavic Pro 1.
We know about the hack on that.
Covering the back with foil.
The return to home will still work in ATI mode as long as ATI mode wasn't activated by an error.
So you have to take your tinfoil hat off and put it on the controller, or what?
On the back of the drone, yeah.
Right. I see Recovery One Drone said, I agree with you. It says Phantoms work okay, but Mavics are a toss-up. Because Mavic doesn't have ADI mode, what happens is it says I was on a 3-degree tilt when I lost satellite. So I'm going to stay on that 3-degree tilt and I'm going to keep going that way. We remember, Herman, we were in Philadelphia and Jamerson's drone flew away under the highway.
Right.
Well, everyone was too far away from him because people were separated, but all he had to do was, instead of saying, my drone, where's my drone going? Take the sticks and see if you had control. And 9 times out of 10, when your drone goes in, loses GPS, you still have control of it.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that. And I do this purposely. When training someone on how to fly a drone, I put them in GPS mode, and then I click the switch and I put them in ADI mode. And I say, now you get back to that spot. Because when you put it in ADI mode, the wind, it'll start drifting.
Yep.
And I'll say, leave it, let it go, let it drift, well above the tree line. Now fly it back to the spot and then put it back in GPS. It's little things like that. People need to know.
It's turning the thing is the problem.
Right. All you do is turn a drone and press the stick forward. It'll go in that direction.
Yeah, but it's a 2-stick turn movement all the time. As opposed to how most guys fly, boom.
Yeah. Well, I've been in enough situations. You remember that time where Jose, his drone, they were flying out here by me, Paul and Sean, and there was a group of us. He took off with his Mavic. And he's like, yo, Lawrence, where's it going? Yo, Lawrence, what's wrong with my drone? And he just goes, He just hands me the controller. So I'm watching the drone,
Try
and
bringing it
once I
back
got the
down.
controller, I spun it around and I flew it right back and told them to recalibrate it and take off from a different spot.
You try bringing it back down if you don't know where it's going.
I
Yeah.
think one of the only times I really got scared down by the river, some young guy shows up with a brand new drone, puts it up in the air, and then he's got an iPad on it, and he's trying to fly it with his finger on the iPad, not on the sticks.
Oh, that point and fly
Yeah,
to
yeah,
the not cool. I would have been scared too. You were grounded, right? I hope.
Okay.
Well, I said, hey,
I
you
need
better.
to pop out, so should we do a quick drop before I go?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Guys ready?
Yep.
Wednesday night with those guys is sponsored by
Those
guys.
guys.
Woo. Thanks for coming in, Sean. We appreciate you.
Hey, thanks for the invite.
Above and Beyond says Addy drifts with the wind for smoother shots and should be tried. I agree.
Hey, Sean, thank you for the shout out too, and I
Thank you
appreciate it.
for being one of
But,
our members, sir.
but don't be disappointed if it doesn't go so well.
We've already had twice the comments all saying that Paul is a rad dude.
Here we go. Paul's gonna pick up views now. That's it.
See you next time, guys.
All right, later,
Bye,
Sean.
everyone.
Thanks for coming
Thanks
in.
for stopping in, Sean.
Well, John Coopy, in answer to what you're saying, for some reason, though, because of higher reliability of DJI drones, overall, the advice of starting with a toy drone has gone by the wayside.
Right.
It's true, because you can pull it out of the box, charge it, update it, and fly it.
It's funny because DJI basically came out with that Mini as a toy grade drone.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of that blew the doors off of toy grade drones.
Yeah.
Because from what I've seen, I mean, I haven't seen them all, but I've seen some, and I haven't seen anything that is that good out the box. You know, what do you think, Paul?
Yeah,
As far as
Yeah,
the toy is concerned,
it's if you there's so many things to learn and so many things to remember, and you're only as good as you keep working on it all, not just focused on one way to fly or one way to do something or whatever. FPV guys, you can't fly the entire battery doing flip, 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 flip. Some point you got to fly back, you know?
Yeah. Well, see, that's why I'm more of an FPV. I like cruising and going beyond trees and stuff like that, because a lot of people, when I first started looking at FPV videos, I used to get vertigo. If the screen went like this, my head would turn sometimes, or you get sickness, motion sickness. But now that I know how to fly FPV, I've been doing it for a while. Hey, what's up, Night Train? It's almost like opening that eye, that third eye from flying. When you're flying with a camera drone, you're more two-dimensional, up, down, left, right. With flying FPV, there is no up or down. You can fly upside down. You can fly sideways on a knife's edge. You could fly straight. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
And now that's actually helped my flying, because when I fly my Mavic Pro to document those buildings that they're working on, I see myself flying more FPV style and more gracefully because of the FPV.
Well, I want you to catch on the hand cam, you flying the Phantom upside down, don't you?
Oh,
Herman?
no.
I actually have footage of that.
Oh, really?
Yo, Herman.
Yes.
Yeah, Herman, we were flying over by Ray.
I have footage taken with the Phantom 4 Pro.
Yes.
Of the camera shot.
Listen to this, Paul. Hold on, he froze. Herman froze. Hold on, Herman.
Yeah,
What the hell? He froze just like that.
Upside down.
No, Herman, we didn't hear a damn thing you said. You went, and it went, and you just now came back clear. So you have to repeat everything over.
You're saying you don't even hear the zoom side, but anyway, like I was saying, when we were out there in Red Hook that day, I was over the pool. And, you know, that time of the year, the pool's closed. And I was looking at the camera straight down. And when I pulled the camera up, I don't know what they were doing in the area at that time with all those military planes that were passing through over the water. But my entire footage from the pool back to where we took off from was all shot upside down.
Upside down. He had Paul, we looked at his camera and his stats were on the top. Everything was totally flipped upside down. And Herman flew back with his screen upside down.
Everything was normal.
Yep. The drone was fine, but the video feed somehow got flipped. And if I remember right, like Herman said, there were AWACS planes flying by back and forth.
Herman's frozen.
Yeah, Herman's froze like this. I can't stay serious.
Still frozen, Herman.
Yeah. Something on his end. I think the bandwidth on his end, maybe he's bottlenecking or something. Don't shoot, hands up. Recovery one.
He's still. He's
there. I am now host. Either it made me host or I am now host. Herman will be back. He's experiencing technical difficulties. He just restarted. Okay, you're back, Herman. Say something.
I'm here.
Say something.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
A little bit of a delay on it, but yeah.
Yeah. Big Matt and everybody's going, don't shoot because you froze like this.
No, but that whole thing was funny, and then to fly from where we were by where Ray's office is to the pool. I flipped the camera up and down a couple of times to make sure I wasn't losing my mind, Paul.
Yeah.
And then I had to get my awareness and fly upside down. Yeah. That was wicked.
Now, where the controls were not upside down.
Just the video.
So you gotta.
He was like, "What the hell is this?"
Opposite direction.
He was like, "What's this?" And right, Herman. That day, AWACS planes were flying up and down the East River, mapping the area, which is now a no-fly zone.
You gotta get awareness of the stuff around you and fly towards that to get back.
Yeah, but
because everything else is telling you the opposite direction.
Hey, AZ now, drones.
Could you have pushed the return to home?
He didn't want to.
I did not want to with that camera like that.
Okay.
I didn't know what the hell was going to happen. And I'm not the kind of guy to quickly run to.
Well, the only thing would have been interesting.
Figure out where the hell the drone is. I could have.
It would have been interesting had you hit that, and then if it acted squirrely, just canceled the return to home.
But you couldn't tell what direction he was headed. He literally had to stop and look at the area upside down and figure out, okay, that's the general area where we're headed. And you use your map as well, right? To get back. But he literally flew back with his video up VTX, his video signal upside down. And he landed like that, shut down the drone. And when he powered it back up, it was fine.
Footage one day, Paul.
He's got the footage from it, don't you, Herman?
Yeah.
You're still cutting in and out and freezing periodically, Herman.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something going on with the internet. I don't know. Maybe I'll eventually lose it. Who knows?
All right. Well, it put me in control. So to sign out, well, now that you're back in, are you back in control?
I don't know. Is it?
I don't know. Well, we'll have to see when at the end of the live stream. But it said you are now host. So
yeah, I can stop the stream.
Okay, you're good. So once you came back in, you took control over.
I don't
All
know
right.
what's going on with this thing. It's doing its own thing. It's that
Yeah.
artificial intelligence.
Yeah, it's a revolution because you were talking nasty about your drone.
Well,
We'll show
Well, he
them.
was just talking about the
if
experience.
the machines want to gang up on me, I'll put each of them in the tub with some salt water if they want to get fun.
What'd you say? You know how to short circuit an electric or something, right?
If the machines want to act up. I know how to play
Oh,
that game.
I just saw something. I'm looking at NYC Fireborough Drone Meetups group, and it says,
Bicycle crew?
anyone heard from Twan Lee? We have to look out for each other, peeps.
What happened to Twan? He went on vacation?
I don't know. I don't know what happened. Just that someone was asking what happened to him. And now that he mentions it, I haven't seen him for a minute myself. I'm going to his profile now to see when was the last time he posted. Oh wow, Jay Merce posted it on his page. Twan Lee,
Twan?
we are. Where are you, bro? I hope all is well. We miss you. April 19th was the last time he updated his page. I don't know what happened.
You got jokes, Matt?
Huh?
Matt.
Too many virtual webcasts. Later, Recovery One. We appreciate you, bro, for coming in every time.
Man.
Glad you explained. I thought you were saying the drone flipped upside down. No.
No. Honestly, what I did tell Lawrence, though, I told him to stand right here because when that drone gets back here, if it's upside down, you have got to take a picture.
Yes, he did say that. He did say that. He's like, yo, don't go.
That thing can't fly upside down.
Right. They're not supposed to fly upside down. In fact, if they pass a 90-degree angle, the engines shut off and the gyros.
Yeah,
Twan changed his profile. His profile is the photo with Bill Clinton.
I was looking down at the pool with the straight down. And when I flipped the camera back up, I was like, what the hell? And I flipped it back down.
Stop what we were doing.
And I flipped it back up. I'm like, oh,
we didn't believe him. He's like, either my picture's upside down or my drone's upside down. And we all stopped what we were doing to go look at his screen, and it was upside down. If you had seen our faces when we seen it. But he did fly it back, and I commend him on that. He did not hit that return to home. Let's think about it. You don't know if your drone's upside down or what. All you see is your video feed upside down. Return to home. If it were possible for a Phantom to fly upside down, that means return home would have drove it into the ground until it hit that altitude.
Right.
Herman wasn't taking that chance.
I didn't know what the hell was going on.
Okay. All right. That's what's up. Big Matt said he'll text it to us. He's just not into drones that much anymore. Okay. I think last I saw he was looking at the submarines and stuff like that. Like that submersible Curtis Dart has.
Who, Matt?
No, Twan. That was the last photo I remember him posting.
Into? I hope he got some big lights for his because I want it real murky.
In New York, the water's so murky, man.
You talking about artificial intelligence? He's gonna need something with legs to get around our water.
The step over stuff.
The step over stuff when it gets down there.
Yeah, for real. That's a
It's gonna get caught under something.
Did you see the news about in the Bronx, Herman, today? About the body they found in the Bronx?
No.
They found on top of a McDonald's. Now, this was at 6 o'clock in the morning. I didn't know they did roof inspections at McDonald's air conditioning units at 6 in the morning before the store opened. But the technician went up to do inspection on their AC unit and found a body wrapped in a plastic bag, half wrapped in a man's body half wrapped in a plastic bag on the roof of the McDonald's. And it's just strange because it's right across the street from Lincoln Hospital or something like that in the Bronx. I just find it was really, really strange that nobody knew how it got up there, but the technician reported the body. So
Well,
somebody did some dirt or something happened. I see them.
I can see Lawrence doing that.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
No, you can't. Lawrence can't swim. Lawrence respects large bodies of water. Lawrence would never have a parachute attached to him unless it was jumping out of a plane.
Jumping out of a plane.
Over water.
I'd have a better chance than having that kite drag me across the ocean like this while I'm drowning.
Did you see the thing with that guy on what was that? 911? That TV show there when he was getting ready to jump out the plane and the thing got caught and he was just hanging?
No.
Yeah. That whole rescue mission was bullshit though, but
yeah, well.
Here, look, watch Herman, here he comes Lawrence again.
Listen,
you know what? They do that out here, Paul.
Yeah, they do it out here.
Over there
right
by Brooklyn. Over in Sheepshead Bay.
Mm-hmm.
You can go over there and do that, Lawrence.
No, I can't.
Yeah, Lawrence, you're never that far away from shore.
Listen, you would see Lawrence being dragged across Paul, you would see Lawrence being dragged across the water with the chute going through the water, okay? That's not happening.
Stand up.
Stand up, yeah.
So you wouldn't do jet skis and
nope.
Water skiing and all
Bruh.
See, somebody just, they're jumping into the water over there and floating down.
You go to one of them vacations in a hot ass island and everybody's out there staying cool, jet skiing.
I'll go out on a boat that's big enough to have a smaller lifeboat on it.
Jet ski.
Boat with a boat.
Yeah. I'm not playing around, man. Not playing around. It took me a while to get over the Staten Island ferry. And they have life preservers under every seat in there.
Everybody make sure you hit that like button for Herman.
Paul, Lawrence is that guy that's standing in the lifeboat helping the women and the children into it.
Listen, somebody's got to help them down.
And somebody goes to sit in the middle of the boat. He goes, no, that's my seat. No. Listen, somebody's got to help them down and control those kids. I can see it now. They get too rowdy, and Lawrence turn around and say, "Don't make me have to throw you out of this boat."
Mm-hmm. Yep. Listen, and if they started rocking the boat, that's not cool.
Lawrence sitting there counting how many heads. Well, you two gotta wait for the next boat.
Yeah, because see what it says right there? Only so many load this many people.
And I would be one of them inside the boat. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Listen, I don't play with large bodies of water. The Atlantic Ocean has almost drowned me 2 times. I'm not going to give it a third.
That's why Lawrence's middle name.
What's up, Malik on the beat?
Lawrence's middle name is Titanic.
You mean Icantic?
Yes.
I can't swim.
What you call them, Titanic?
Icantic. That's what that is.
Sink or swim, Jones?
Yep.
No, it's just sink. It's just sink. Paul, I never told you how I passed swimming in high school, which was a prerequisite to graduate from.
You pay somebody to pretend they were you?
It was a 4-foot pool.
Yeah.
And it was maybe about 20 or 30 feet across at its length. I was so tall that by the time I torpedoed in and went 1, 2, 3, my arm hit the side. And everyone thought I was swimming. The teacher passed me and everything. I don't know how to freaking swim. Still this day.
Well, because you're that tall too, it helps you put a tippy toes and walk across, you know?
Listen, Paul.
You know how I learned how to swim? I taught myself one summer
Didn't you say your father did? Your father?
My father tried, but that was a waste of time. I taught myself one summer watching someone else teach someone how to swim.
Wow. I can't relax.
It's because I made the mistake of going down to Texas. My uncle wanted me to come down to Texas, and I think it was just to cut his lawn.
Hello, Fly Girl.
Skydio, I think that part of Skydio is separate from Parrot. That's a subdivision, Matt, from Parrot. Hey, Fly Girl, how are you? Welcome to Wednesday Nights with those guys.
What's up? So yeah, I went down to Texas. Like I said, I think he just got me down there to cut his lawn because he goes to work every day. He's home on Saturdays and Sundays, but he goes to work from Monday to Friday, and I'm there in the house. And I don't have any cousins that I can hang out with down there. I got the one cousin. She sits in the house all day and watches soap operas and crap.
Oh no.
On television. So, as a kid, I started to explore the whole neighborhood that they lived in, just wandered around. And I noticed that they had a big pool down at this park.
Hey, Lenny.
So I started to go to the pool every day because, Texas is hot as shit. Boy, and it's humid. They imported heat over there in Houston. So I went to the pool every day and I watched these people with the instructions, giving me instructions on how to swim, and I did everything on my own that they were teaching. And by the time middle of the summer came, I was headed across the pool on my own.
Yeah, not me.
But by the time I got back to Brooklyn, I looked like one of those,
Eye of the drone.
One of the raisins from the commercial, or the prune, and they do the sunshine raisin commercial.
Yeah. Eye of the drone, Risa, is from Indonesia. Welcome to Sunday Nights with those guys. I am on your channel right now, and I'm supporting your channel. I'd appreciate it if you'd return the favor. But he has material on his page.
Grab that channel too.
So support each other. We do support each other here. This is your first time here, Eye of Drone, Risa. And welcome. What time is it in Indonesia? I know it's early. Today's Thursday, so it's got to be Friday sometime over there where you are.
Fly Girl is here. We all know who Fly Girl is.
Well, I just supported your channel, Eye of Drone. Joe Mack, how are you, man? Joe Mack, you don't have to be sorry for missing a live stream, man. We know when you come, we appreciate you, and if you can't make it, we still appreciate you.
Yep.
That's all right.
Give me 1 second. I have to step away for a second.
Now, what is it, Lynn? Okay. I already know how to swim. I'm good.
Lawrence is the one we have to watch out for.
Yeah, Lawrence is the one that needs to learn how to swim.
When there's a pool party, he goes in the shallow end or into the kiddie pool.
What's up, Ray?
What's up, fellas?
And the show's over.
Ray.
Yeah, it's over. Yeah. Yeah, you know how it is, boy. Hard, man. This 5 o'clock deal on the summer is hard for.
Yeah, I know. This is the best time to be out there flying.
Yeah, but not only that, I get out of work at 4 o'clock, so I had to rush home and do a few things. I got sidetracked. I had to go by my mom's place, but I still got to hand over the keys and clear out her apartment. So I had a few things I had to do. So not enough hours in the day, man.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So
I just wish I could get out on a regular. I wish I could get out on the regular basis.
Yeah, me and Master, I'm about to come there, get a motherfucking get a truck and come pick him up with a chair so he just sit out there and we just fly, man.
Shoot, I got in the car. I got the little scooter. I can get outside, but It's getting around.
Yeah, getting around. Yeah.
You know, the thing is, the fact that I can't put any weight on the foot right now is my.
You better not. You better not.
If I could, I wouldn't have no problem.
Right. That's what Anthony Charles was saying. He said as soon as he could put weight on his foot, he out there flying.
Right. That's what I did last time. As soon as I could, I was out.
Yep. That's what you got to
So
do.
that was even flying when I had my hands bandaged up with the stitches and it's still flying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, remember that? I
Yep.
was saying, how you going to do that other thing? You said, I'll work it out. I was like, oh, you good then. You know? And you can roll the boat, 3 minutes in the tub.
You damn sure did, Ray. You're right about that.
Right?
He was out there like this, but he was flying.
Yeah, man. I remember that shit too. I was like, oh, man. But it's a little different when you got to stand up, though, you know?
Yeah, we only got one.
He was already having problems, Ray. Remember, he stand in one spot too long, his leg would lock up on him?
Like, I mean, yo, that day I thought he was going to fall. I'm like, yo, what happened? He said, yo, my leg locked up. I'm like, yo. That was a move. Like, I'm like, yo, you all right? Yeah, man.
Yeah, and that comes from that now that he's had the operation, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Well, apparently they said that this was part of the problem.
Okay, because you was telling me it was rubbing on the bone, right?
Yeah.
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 You was telling me that it was rubbing on the bone. I was like, wow, that must be very painful. Now it's all over, but unfortunately, man, if you could have done it earlier.
Yeah, I know, but
And down for the summer.
The coronavirus messed everything up.
At the same time, so you ain't really missing nothing, right? Yeah.
Because I was supposed to have had it done just before they had locked everything down.
I remember you was telling me, yeah. And right now, you'll be, what, 4 months in right now, basically, or something like that, right?
Yeah, he would have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have been out flying because I'd have
Right,
been able
because
to
you
wait.
right. Right. Damn, bro. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? But you got plenty of time now, so we're going to have a long summer.
Well, batteries is all the discharge mode.
That's all that matters, bro. That's all that matters. You don't really start having no puppy batteries, you know?
All of them just sitting there.
Good. That's the best thing for them.
Oh, Big Matt said, let that be the last one, Herm. I got to have to go fund you to get some bionic parts.
Look at Matt.
You know what? Hopefully it is the last one because they said that everything else was addressed already.
Oh, Lynn says, Herman, can you rent a power chair?
I'm not doing
How
that.
about one of them golf carts, man? How about let them use one of them golf carts?
Yeah.
That's
Let them be pimping in the golf cart, Lynn. Let them be leaning.
This was almost over.
Hey, Ray, you know, like I do, that'll get Herman stuck up in Brooklyn.
Uh-oh.
Because they be trying to run that, they be trying to ride that golf cart themselves. You know,
What's up?
A power chair is like almost saying it's almost over.
Yeah, oh yeah, okay. That stepfather and that son killed themselves over by you on Beach 29, huh?
Yeah, yo, that was right. I live on 23rd.
I know. When I saw that, I'm like, whoa, that's right
Dude,
there.
I walked down the block and looked left, and you can see the police helicopters and everything. Yes.
Wow.
Yo, they had a shootout. They had a real shootout, Ray.
Yeah, I heard. My cousin called me. He lived right there in Beach 19. You know, he a rude boy.
Yeah.
He called me and told me, he said, yo, cuz, you out there? I'm like, out where? Far out. I was like, nah. He said, yo, clear out. He said, they wilding out there. I was like, what happened? The kid was 15 years old, though.
Yeah, but come on. I'm gonna say it like this. You're 15 years old and you want to go up against a man, the man's got to do what a man's got to do.
This man had a dispute with his stepson, and they shot and killed each other.
Yeah, there's one guy. I don't know who died at the scene, but I was watching the whole thing on my Citizen app because the guys that sell drugs down the block had ran down there and had their phones out recording it.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was on Citizen app.
So I'm watching it from my house, and they said the guy someone died inside the house, and someone was on critical, and they crawled outside, and that's when the ambulance picked them up and scooped them up. But they both dead now.
What's that,
They're
Herman?
both dead.
This is coming from the guy who says he lives in the suburbs.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, Herman. It's not exactly suburbs. It's a wannaburg.
Yeah, I know.
It's a wannaburg.
It used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
It
how
When I
many
used to go out there in the 80s, man, it was suburbed out in the 80s.
But that's funny. You heard about it, and
on
it's
the
funny
other
you
side
heard
of the
about it
road,
all the way because you got family out here.
Yeah, my cousin lived right there on Beach
Now,
19. My other
check-
cousin lived on Beach 64, and they cops, so I heard it all.
Now check this out. The other day, in 18 hours, there were 14 shootings, and one of them killed a 1-year-old baby.
That's right over there by me.
Exactly.
July and August, there were more shootings in the state of New York than I believe in entire other states around the U.S. combined.
Not Chicago, bro. Not Chicago.
Well,
Chicago,
yeah. They roar over there too.
Yeah.
You're right. But for some reason, don't matter. It don't. And Corona didn't even slow nothing down because they still going off.
It all started once they went to phase one, Lawrence. Once phase one happened,
Yeah.
that's when they had the 523 shootings and the 13 deaths. As soon as they opened up phase one,
Yeah.
people were
And you got
indoors, man.
it's not a lack of respect for humans. It's a lack of respect for life. Period. Because it's not just happening here in New York City. It's happening all over. And with this Corona thing, people are upset already as it is.
Yep, yes it is.
Like my
There's
boy,
a lot of people with lack of respect for life.
What's up,
on all
Justin?
sides.
What happened? Herman?
Hey, Justin, how you
There's
doing?
a lot of people
Good,
out there
Jess.
with a lack of
What's up,
respect
what's up?
for human life on all sides of this situation. When you talking about with Corona,
Yeah.
you know, when you have
Malik on the
that-
beat said, "Shout out to Phantom Flight 101," and to Paul Murray.
Hey,
He-
Malik,
he-
how you doing?
Upset is not the word. I can't tell you what I went through today.
What happened?
I had a lady that just came out the hospital, literally came out the hospital from having coronavirus, comes into my dealership and wants to get her car worked on because her AC is not working.
Wow.
So she's
Jeez.
sitting out there and she's like, I need my car worked on right now. I was like, that's not happening, lady. I'm sorry. It's the end of the day. I'm trying to finish up the work I have from today.
Yeah.
I'm never leasing a car again or anything like that. I'm never buying a car. I was like, miss, I don't need to know your financial or whatever you're doing.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
just telling you that
It's
your car's
too late.
not getting worked on today. You could leave
not by
the
me.
car. You could leave the car. I'll fit it in, even though everything
It
is so
ain't
busy.
happening today.
Yeah. You know what she tells me? Oh, I have no one to pick me up. Can you call me an Uber? I was like, that's an app, right? That you have to pay for. I was like, I could call you a cab. Oh, I'm not taking no cab. She starts coughing. I'm like,
Oh
whoa.
no.
It's
Oh
like,
whoa.
hell no.
I'm like, you gotta go over there somewhere.
Justin, you better decontam for 14 days.
Yeah.
No, we got a machine that you carry around that you sanitize. I was like,
Oh, you got a sprayer on you because you got to spray the cars before you go in anyway.
yeah, we got the machine.
Okay.
All
Okay.
the area, like,
So each one of y'all got one then. One of the mechanics.
Just put the nozzle in her mouth.
Exactly. Exactly. Up on Rob's class.
Yeah, right.
You're gonna
That's
come in and
crazy,
cough in my
man.
face like that?
Lynn says, "Did you have a mask on, Justin?"
I have to wear a mask.
Yeah, at work. You cannot work here in New York unless you got a mask on. There's a lot of places. If you walk into a place and somebody's working there and don't have a mask on, you could raise all kinds of hell.
Yeah.
I had a guy who was kind of trying to come in the shop with no mask on. I'm like, whoa, easy. You better find a mask somewhere. I don't know, but you're not coming in here like that.
As soon as she started yapping, you should have just took the nozzle for the machine.
Fog up the. We usually got to spray down when the customers like get out the car. They got to get sprayed down. The whole inside of the car gets sprayed down.
Yeah.
Listen,
You spray the customer.
listen. They would be bringing me extra tanks because everything I looked at, I'd be.
I'll be down for that. Spraying the customers.
Yeah.
And if they don't like it, oh, bye. We're not wasting time. Like, if you don't like it, you're more than welcome somewhere else. But this
Exactly.
is here.
First dose, right in your nose.
Herman just want to spray people with that. He don't care who it is. Everyone gets
Herman said, I don't care who you are.
Everyone gets
Guy
sprayed.
walking by the sidewalk, he's spraying them. Herman's out there spraying
Just walk by. You stop and look back. I just like looking the other way.
You know how they stop at the stoplight in front of you? In front of you? It's Justin. Herman's out on the curb spraying people on the stoplight.
Reach in the car with the spray them.
With a long hose from the building. Keep it coming.
That's crazy.
Listen,
Really
you cannot play. And listen to Dr. Fauci. He's saying, now listen to what he just said this morning. He said that this fall, the fall of 2020, the winter and fall of 2020 is going to be the real bad part. But he didn't just say 2020. He said up to 2021. So the fall and winter of 2020 and the fall and winter of 2021 is going to be really bad. Now, if they're predicting it to 2021, it's going to be around for a while.
Well, I told you that, Lawrence, because when you get it into football season, the end of football season, you start getting into the flu. People crying about the flu. That's when this thing is going to hit you again.
I know. The flu. What's up, feet on the ground? How's it over there in Australia with the corona thing? I hope you guys are over there are safe. I hope you guys are Vegemite. That's why y'all don't have corona, because y'all eat Vegemite.
There we
go.
Yo, do me a favor, feet on the ground. Don't send me that shit. Don't send that stuff here, man.
No.
I will give it to someone to try.
You know what you do with that, Lawrence?
What?
If you have any problems like with the caulking around your windows is depreciating, you put that on there. It serves as dual purpose.
Yeah. You say I could use Vegemite to caulk a door?
It'll kill insects and everything.
It's wicked, huh?
Only 400 cases total. Robitussin kills everything. You know what, Matt? It's funny you say that. My mom's, if you coughed, she said, get the Robitussin. If you sneezed, she said, get the Robitussin.
Get the flies.
If your eyes were running, she said, get the Robitussin. They're like, but Ma, it's for cough. It works for that too. No, it doesn't. You couldn't tell her. Well, thanks for supporting people, Fly Girl. We appreciate you coming in. You'll only get it and enjoy it. I'm going to send instructions with it all. Listen, dude, I don't like eating slimy food. I don't eat okra. I don't eat nothing that comes in its own slime.
You don't eat okra?
For some reason, Vegemite looks like a gelatinous slime.
Yeah, the only way I can eat okra if it's fried.
He said, Lawrence, you find that stuff on the side of a cave somewhere?
Dude, I don't know how they process it or where it comes from.
Didn't someone say it's like it's the leftover mash from when you make beer and some other thing, and then like car tires?
Oh, he says he says F.
Oil.
He says
F. Car tires.
I'm Australian, not Asian. I know that, man. I won't lie. I will try it once. I will try it. I will try it once. And what's that, Paul?
Is UVC light?
Oh, for disinfecting things?
Yeah.
Your UV light for disinfecting? You're muted, Paul.
You know what's the #1 effective thing for killing the virus, right? The placebo. If you think it works, it works.
Ray and nephew.
Actually, Herman,
Ray and nephew.
larger versions of this is what they sterilize hospital ICUs with. They have
Big Matt says okra's good in soup. Ew.
We did a whole show on that here one night.
You know, Feet on the Ground says Vegemite is made from the brewing process, so it's made from beer.
Yeah, that's what I said. This is made from the old leftover.
It's the leftovers.
from
the yeast,
beer,
from the yeast and the
and
hops.
and when they process the car tires and when you go to Jiffy Lube and they dump out the old oil, they mix all of that together and
Make a soup.
Okay, I give.
Yeah, because that's it. Let me tell you
I've had
something. My boss, when I first started working on the pier, they had a microbrewery down. They had hops growing. They had all kinds of stuff. That stuff you talking about was the nastiest smelling shit I've ever smelled in my life, yo. So who could ever eat that or even be around that? More power to them.
Well, that's the same thing with malt liquor. When you get malt liquor from the stuff at the bottom of the beer barrel.
Hold on. Time out. The one thing that I am not going to do and I'm not going to condone here is that dudes talking trash on malt liquor. You was raised on that shit.
You're right. I was from the no days.
Because you're smart enough not to drink it no more. You're not going to sit here and bash it.
Well,
you're right.
In my defense, I've never had a beer, liquor, wine ever in my life. So I can talk about it like I want.
Dudes was raised on that stuff, man.
You're right.
High school days.
800,
days, straight on.
Yeah. 800. 800.
Yeah, you
Coke
just
45.
Flip the bag and roll it tight. And
Old English 800.
Yeah, that was we used to call it gorilla piss.
Yeah.
See, here we go.
Old English 800. Yep.
Old English, old fight your mama.
Or we called it oh no. It was Old English 800. We called it oh no.
Oh no. Oh no, you didn't.
Yeah.
That make you fight your mama. That's what we used to say. OE make you fight your mama.
But they got in all different areas. You had what? You had Schlitz had a malt liquor, and then they had what was that other one? It was the Red Bull. They had they had a lot of different malt liquors out there. But then now it got outrageous when they started.
Holy Horse came out. They got Holy Horse now.
And the crazy, it was a crazy horse one time.
Crazy Horse, yeah.
And all that other stuff like that. That's when it got outrageous. But by then, guys were getting a little bit too old for drinking.
Those 79 cents beer, that's what they have at the bottom.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny,
that's like
Paul?
one step up from Vegemite.
They tried.
That's the end beer before you get the Vegemite.
Vegemite, yep.
But Paul, they even went to the point where they were serving. They had a 40 ounce you thought was big. They had a half gallon or what was it, a gallon of beer?
That little keg? Yeah.
64 ounce.
Listen.
Yo, you know what Lawrence was
same thing, Cisco. Cisco was another one that'll make you jump off a building.
Lawrence, you know what was good old days? I used to work with this guy, right? Worked with this guy. His brother-in-law was a manager at a brewery. He used to get a keg every other week. So he used to put the beer in those in these big brown bottles and bring them to work.
Yeah.
And at lunchtime we'd be sitting in the trailers throwing them back.
Feet on the ground. You have a good day, my friend.
Yeah, be well, man. Stay safe. Okay, so, I'll let me know when you said you're sending out tomorrow, which is actually
today,
Saturday. No, because it's already Friday in Australia.
Ah, okay.
So it would be Saturday for him and Friday for me.
But today's Wednesday. He's sending out Thursday.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's right. It would be Friday where he is and Thursday. All right, I lost a day somewhere.
Yeah, So you know that big research center up there in Harlem? If anything is wired up wrong over there, it ain't my fault.
Why did you do that job on Vegemite or what?
No, like I said, my partner at work, his brother-in-law works he's a manager at a brewery. So he would get a new keg every other week in the house. And he would fill up these big brown bottles that he had and bring them into work with the beer in it. We would throw them back at lunchtime.
Beer moonshine.
So the best work was in the morning, and the afternoon it was just get through the day.
Probably the best work was done in the afternoon because you start moving a little quicker.
Almost time to get out of
Yeah,
here.
that job was a fun job though, especially when they had the snowstorm.
Yeah.
Because we had to do temporary heat and temporary light overnight on that job, and we had a big snowstorm.
Right.
I had to pick up temporary light Saturday morning, so I had to
Okay.
wait for them to shovel these guys out of the construction site to get them out, so I can get in.
Damn.
Yeah, they were snowed in.
Oh, that's messed up. and you had to go to work.
It was all right. Not the truck. It makes it there.
Oh, these are
So Justin, anything on the FPV world? Nothing new.
Just learning new stuff. That's it.
I figured
yeah.
you built something.
Justin's the man now. We go to fly, and he'd be up in the air before I am.
Just building another one.
Oh, that's right. That's the 7-inch joint.
After I'm done with this, it'll probably be like $500 worth of parts in it. But guaranteed not to have any problems.
Well, I'm not ready for that yet.
No, but everyone's waiting for this DJI FPV bird that they are coming out with.
Yeah, that they introduced. Well, you won't see nothing until you see that FCC patent come out. Once you see that, then you'll know they're in production shortly afterwards.
Well, we shall see.
Because it says
Night Train said getting crunk on Boone's farm.
Wow, he went back.
No,
what about
one.
Bag Dog 2020?
No, here's one even further than that, Ray. Remember Thunderbird in the green bottle?
Hey, Swiss up. What about Swiss up?
Hey, Paul, they took it off the market because it had lead in it.
Yo, Thunderbird and Swiss up. Yeah.
They took it off the market because it had lead in it, and they only sold it in poor neighborhoods.
You remember Boone's Farm too, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
Mad Dog 2020.
Oh, we knew this chick, Ray. If you had a bottle of Mad Dog, you was in.
No. I knew shit. You had a Snicker bar. You was all the way in. Snicker bar? What? Reese's peanut butter cup? What? And she had no kids.
Oh, wow.
Man. Those were the days.
Somebody ought to read that disclaimer.
The views and opinions that are heard tonight are not necessarily the views and opinions of everyone on the panel and or in the chat.
Yeah, what he said.
Oh, Night Train went back. Wild Irish Rose. That's
back
what I
in
said
the day. Like 10 minutes ago. The Night Train. You sound like you had some Night Train. What about the Night Train? You forgot?
Yeah,
Night Train,
you forgot about that one.
Night Train.
Named after one.
See, how I know all those liquors and stuff, because my grandmother had a bar and she had all the liquor. I was bootlegging, you know what I mean? So I knew all that stuff. I've never drank a day in my life, man.
Those drinks are for those guys that got issues.
Yes.
Well, Lawrence has been converted now. He's a moonshine man.
Oh, hell no.
Some guys experimented with those drinks.
Yeah, man.
We gotta get Lawrence some more moonshine.
They think that Henny is tough. These kids would have had some Swiss up or some Boone's Farm. They would know what it is.
I seen a video today on the next Mavic. Might be a combination of Inspire Phantom Mavic. Supposedly.
That nonsense.
Who's seen that video?
Yeah, who's speaking about that? Who talking about, Willis?
Yes, there ain't no thing.
What you talking about, Willis?
That's fake news.
Yeah, that's definitely fake news.
Which removable gimbal? Yeah, that's the fake. That's the fake post.
Jonah did do something on that though. Was it last week?
Arizona on post drinking age was 18. Okay. Yeah,
drinking age was 18 at one point.
Yep.
And I remember when they changed that.
Lynn, you take me as a Southern Comfort girl.
Herman, because they changed it here in Michigan when I turned 21. Then all the 18-year-olds could drink.
Mm-hmm.
After you turned 21.
After I
had to wait, right?
Oh, you mean it went from 21 to 18.
18 when I turned 21.
We went from 18 to 21.
Well, it eventually came back. I think it's back to 21 again, but for
Oh
quite a
yeah,
few years.
that was just his hypothetical droner. It was his hypothetical what if, because I doubt very much he's been in South America. I doubt very much he would get drone news on DJI. That I think that was part of a video he did to bring back some fans because he stopped doing drone videos about his fan. He went straight professional and moved to South America. If you guys know
Lenny
who
was
drone,
Lenny was a Southern Comfort straight up.
Yo,
I was telling you about that.
That is skunk.
That was a skunk, Paul.
Yeah.
he said that's a skunk, Paul.
Paul's terrified. He sees skunks everywhere now.
Yeah.
They're
They're everywhere. They're everywhere.
Cake factory.
You tore up the whole porch.
Yeah. No, because they living under Paul's house. I don't care what that trap guy said.
Now what happened now, Paul, with the whole thing? I kind of heard a portion of it.
I got coyote urine coming tomorrow.
Yeah.
I've got really hot. Lynn ordered some really hot pepper.
Pepper flakes for the bird feeder.
Whatever it is. And, you know, because when you buy it in a store, it's like, I don't know, 25 or 35 as far as heat. This is 90 heat.
Oh.
So that's supposed to deter.
You know how them baby skunks holding their stomach.
So everybody's gonna hate you now, right? The squirrel, the possum,
Yeah.
any mammal that eats anything out there is going to eat you.
And I put ammonia out there too.
Oh, the ramp is all ripped up.
Yeah, I can't share it or I'd show it to you.
Oh,
the host has got to disable it.
Oh yeah, you got to tell them how to do that.
You go right next to the screen share and you say everybody.
Do that. And that's why I was asking you before when you asked me if you could share someone and if you could do it.
Oh yeah, I see. All right, yeah, you got the ramp all ripped up.
Yep.
Okay. So you see where the hole is then?
There was no hole, but there was a dead skunk down there that is probably a few years old because it was about this thick and it was hard and crusty. And I showed it a couple of times.
So they may have been living there for a while.
Yeah.
They just lodging underneath there.
Yeah. Well, either that or they were visiting grandma that used to be under there. You know?
Well, they didn't sleep under there the night you dropped that ammonia, though.
Are you charging?
No, they haven't been back now with the ammonia. That's what those,
Herman was trying to tell you.
Rags are. So
Herman was trying to tell you.
Yep.
That ammonia will get rid of any rodent.
They want to breathe.
Yeah.
Right. And that stuff, as sensitive as their noses are, any rodent's noses, once you put that stuff down, it's
game over.
critical.
Now that pepper, the only thing it won't affect is your birds.
But everything else, if Mia goes out there, you may hear her sneezing.
What's that right there?
What?
See something in your driveway. What is that?
The little bird?
That's a birdie.
Oh, okay.
Up at the bird feeder. See, there's one there.
Herman was like, get the flamethrower.
It's go time.
Right? Herman was like, get the flamethrower.
Get the suit and the flamethrower.
Yep. So we were gonna put the pepper down today, but it's a little bit windy. And Lynn says, no.
Okay.
Where are you gonna put the pepper?
On the ground where we're down there and then underneath the ramp.
Now, does your dog go around there?
Very carefully.
Because I was gonna tell you to just put the pepper in the bird feeder.
Yeah. Put it in the bird feeder with the bird food. It'll drop down.
But it doesn't affect the birds?
Nope.
It passes right through them.
Birds can eat it. They'll just whistle their way through the pepper eat. But mammals, they can't do it. They dealt like a dog, cat, any of those possum, rodents, they'll eat that and then burn the hell out of them.
Ah,
Yeah, well, I wish you luck in your ventures. At least we know that once you put that ammonia down, you ain't seen them since.
nope.
That's a good thing.
Now, there's got to be a way you can extend that thing down and lock it off so that anything that wants to get under there is going to have to tunnel their way in.
Well, yeah,
Or cement it.
I've got lattice that I'm going to put down there.
There you go.
Okay.
Lattice sides.
Okay. All right. All right. Sounds like you got a game plan. Now there's some poor little skunks walking down the road with a stick and a bag over their shoulder because you evicted them.
Yep, because we were nasty. We were nasty to them.
Yeah, they wasn't good. They wasn't good tenants, man.
2 weeks from now, the neighbor will be talking about, I don't know what happened to my cat. My cat disappeared. Paul will be looking on the camera. There'll be a giant snake slithering out from under his porch.
With a lump in the middle of it.
Yeah.
It's that time, guys.
Paul doesn't go inside and close the door.
They don't blame
him. Hey guys, it's that time, man. We got to get out of here.
Yes, it is.
So I'd like to thank you guys for hanging out tonight and discussing the topic of the Skydio X2. You know, what's going on or what we believe is going on out there in the drone world. Hopefully, DJI will come back with something for the community because right now everything that's hot is out there for working and commercial use. So I'd like to thank all you guys on the panel stopping in and hanging out with us because without you, none of this would be possible. And I'll see you next time on Phantom Flight 101 with those guys.
Bye, everybody.
Later.
I'll come back now. You hear?
Yeah.